Welcome to FPL Selection. Today we'll take a look at how the team is shaping up for Game Week 29, but first a quick look at how we got on in Game Week 28. So 84 points and a nice jump up to just outside the top 130,000. I had 4 of my 5 transfers from the last 2 weeks all return this week. It's always nice to see. Ekatike especially with his 15 points. Yeah, it was really nice to see after bringing him in for this week. I had Fernandes captain, which was great, but obviously it got watered down slightly. A lot of people would captain Haaland, and obviously he got injured, and there was a lot of vice captains on Fernandes. So, yeah, not going to complain too much, but obviously didn't quite get the boost that I would have liked from that. Nice to be back on track after the disaster of last week. So, yeah, looking well set up, heading towards the blank in Game Week 31, and yeah, pretty positive I can finish somewhere in the top 100,000 this year. So looking ahead now to Game Week 29, I've only got 1 free transfer, so I'm probably just going to roll and try and save up a few before the blank in Game Week 31. I'll need 1 more player for that week to make an 11, if there's no injuries or anything. So, yeah, I'm probably going to roll. The only position I'm not really happy with at the moment are Sanchez and Rodgers, but to be honest, they can stick around for another week. Not got bad fixtures this week, so obviously playing against each other. Yeah, just going to reassess ahead of Game Week 30. So looking at the team for this week, Sanchez is away to Villa. Chelsea defence has been really bad. A couple of shockers against Arsenal. Doesn't give you any confidence that they're going to turn that around anytime soon. Although Villa not exactly firing at the moment. I think a lot of their attacking stats are some of the worst in the league. In comparison to their position. So maybe this is the one where we will get a Chelsea clean sheet, but yeah, I've got no real hope. So I'm expecting a 2-pointer. I don't really want to commit to a goalkeeper transfer at this point when I've only got 1 in the bank. But yeah, maybe we'll get lucky there and get something from Sanchez. Guehi is at home to Forest. Had a clean sheet there from City last week against Leeds. So again, home game, you're expecting a good chance of a City clean sheet. Guehi's played all the games so far, so I'm hoping that's going to continue. I don't see why it wouldn't. Obviously not an exciting pick really, but if we could keep picking up 6 points every week, I'll be more than happy with that. And Van Dijk is away to Wolves. I'm obviously really happy to get the goal from him after bringing him in for the West Ham game. Liverpool, their defence looking much better. I know they conceded 2 against West Ham, but on the whole, much improved. So, yeah, I think Wolves are a pretty decent side. They're better than their position suggests, I think, the way they're playing for a good while now, actually, to be fair to them. So, yeah, maybe not expecting a clean sheet as such, but there's every chance they can. And Van Dijk's, finally getting the goals now from his set-piece threat, which has been there all season, really. He's been quite unlucky. So, yeah, happy to get him in, and, yeah, decent fixture again, which, Liverpool's are very good for the foreseeable future. Then Gabriel was away to Brighton. Brighton are definitely improving at the moment, putting a few wins under their belt and, getting away from the bottom of the table. But Gabriel doesn't even need the clean sheets, as we saw last week against Chelsea. Got the assist for Saliba's goal, 3 bonus points. Just so threatening in the opposition box and just does all the good things to get bonus. So, yeah, obviously the best defender in the game, and I think any fixture he can pick something up. Just maybe not seeing clean sheet all over this one, but yeah, always a potential with the Arsenal defence. So moving on to the midfield, Rodgers is at home to Chelsea. Been very disappointing, Rodgers. It's not really been picking up the returns for a good few weeks now. Potentially a little bit of fatigue, maybe. He's played almost like every game for Villa this season. But Chelsea certainly, not very good defensively. So in a home game, you imagine he'll get a few chances, and yeah, he's definitely one I'm looking to move on if we don't see some improvement soon. But he's that kind of player that he can just explode in any game, and yeah, this could be the one maybe where we get some returns to reward the patience with him. And Semenyo is at home to Forest. Been so consistent since arriving at City. Semenyo keeps starting the games, keeps getting goals. home game against Forest, should start again because I think he's fairly robust and good levels of fitness. So yeah, especially if Haaland's out, they're going to want him up front again. And home game, you're expecting something from him. So yeah, very happy to have him in, and I think Forest's an okay fixture for sure. And Fernandes is away to Newcastle. Now, obviously, away at Newcastle is always a difficult game. A lot of teams struggle to, get results there. But I think Fernandes is just so good at the moment. He's just involved in everything good United do. Just creates chances in every match. He's always got a chance of getting something. That's why I'm probably going to captain him again this week. I just think that consistency of returns is there. And yeah, it just makes sense to stick with someone reliable. And we haven't got anyone really, blowing things away like we did Haaland earlier in the season. So yeah, captain for me again this week. I'm pretty certain on that, probably 99%. And I think, yeah, always a chance he's going to pick something up. And Palmer is away to Villa. Again, Villa not that great at the moment. Chelsea defensively are poor, but still going forwards. They're still, scoring goals, creating chances. Palmer, got to keep an eye on if there's any update on him. It looked a little bit like he was struggling again with his groin injury, so really not justifying his place, for the amount of money he costs, but none of the expensive players really are at the moment, so I'm happy to keep rolling the dice with him. I'm just probably going to avoid captaincy at the moment just with the uncertainty over the injury. The quick turnaround maybe gets benched, but yeah, see if there's any updates in the press conferences, but I'm happy to hold him for a few more weeks because we've seen already, in the recent past that, when he is on it, he's always capable of picking up something. So moving on to the forwards, Thiago is away to Bournemouth. Usually a chaotic game with Bournemouth, end-to-end stuff. Thiago finally got himself back on the score sheet against Burnley. So, yeah, you'd certainly expect him to get some chances anyway against Bournemouth. So, yeah, very happy to have him in for the foreseeable future. And, yeah, I'd expect him to at least get one or two good chances in the game. And Ekitike is away to Wolves. Again, bottom of the table Wolves, but certainly not playing like that at the moment. So I think this will be a tough game for Liverpool. They're playing them twice, actually. I think they got them in the Cup at the weekend as well. So, yeah, it's an interesting one. Very happy, obviously, to get the 15 points from Ekitike last week. So, this is kind of a free hit, I think. Probably one of the tougher games they've got over the coming weeks. But, yeah, he's finishing well. He's looking much sharper. So, yeah, maybe we're seeing a return to that sort of early season form, and yeah, very happy to hold him for a good while now. So in summary, I'm pretty certain I'm going Fernandes captain again. As I said last week, I like doing the blocks of sort of 3-4 games. So I said, Palace, Newcastle and Villa games, I would captain him. I know we got the haul against Palace, but I'm happy to just stick with it. That's what I planned, and if I stick with it, he's got so many good routes to points. There's a good chance he'll pick up something, even though it's sort of a tougher fixture on paper. Probably Palmer or Semenyo will be vice captain. And as I said earlier, no transfers. I'm just going to save up for the coming blank and double. So that's it for this one. Thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.